Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianna. I'm so glad you're here and I'm so glad you clicked on today's video. This is my first ever book recommendation video and I'm so excited. I've always wanted to do one of these and I'm finally doing it for you guys. I'm so excited. So if you love reading, along with me, and today I'm gonna share some summer book recommendations for you guys. I have a huge stack here of books we're gonna get through today. Enough of me chatting, we have a lot of books to get through, so let's get started with today's video. So the first series that I'm gonna recommend is probably the most obvious, and that is the Summer I Turned Pretty series by Jenny Han. If you know, you know. It's probably the most popular right now because TV adaptation on Prime Video, I think back in 2022. Yeah, I've been obsessed as well as everybody else with that TV adaptation. Season 3 premiering now, and yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what these books are about. So if you don't know what these books are about, it's a love triangle, and it's about this girl named Isabel Conklin. She goes by Belly, and her mom's friend goes to this beach house every summer, and her mom's friend has 2 sons, and it's just this whole love triangle throughout these books. Comment down below if you're Team Jeremiah or Team Conrad. If you know, you know. These are the first. I feel like it was the most obvious, so I just had to get these first. If you haven't had a chance to read these books, I highly recommend. They're really, really great. I'm gonna go through all the series first. Hey you guys, quick intermission here. Like I said, this is my first ever book recommendation video, but most of the books I talked about in this video I read like years ago, so I hardly remember what they're about. So throughout this video, you're gonna see me read the back of the book. It's just because I just want to tell you guys what the book is about, and I don't want to spread any misinformation for you guys. I wanted to read the back of the book to make sure I got the characters' names right, the plot of the book right, because even recent books that I've read in the past few months, even though I loved the book, I can easily forget some of the plot. So like I said, throughout this video, you're going to see me read the back of the book and give the right information for you guys. I didn't want to spread any misinformation. My next series that I'm going to be recommending for the summer is the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. I feel like this is the most obvious too. If you put in a cowboy romance, small town romance, I immediately think of Summer. This is not the whole series. There is one more to this series called Hopeless. I don't have the physical copy of this book, but I read it on audiobook. I'll put it up here. But the small town romance series, country, cowboy, and obviously, like I said, I think of Summer. You don't have to read these in order, but I highly recommend reading them in order. You can read them as standalones, but they all interconnect in some way within the characters. So like I said, I highly recommend reading these in order. This one follows professional bull rider. His daughter is supposed to babysit him or help him with his PR, because his PR reputation is on the lines because he doesn't have media training at all. So she kind of babysits him and watches him, and it's so good. Next book in the series is Heartless, which is one of my favorite books in the series. This is my top favorite. It's a single dad romance, which is probably one of my favorites. I love a good single dad romance. And it's a nanny, so she nannies his kid and they fall in love, and it's so good. Then this one is childhood best friends to lovers. He something bad happens to her and he watches over her, and they're trying not to fall in love, but they know they have feelings for each other. We have Reckless. This is enemies to lovers, I believe. This is a female main character of the first book's sister, and yeah, this is one of my favorites too, but Heartless is one of my top favorite, but this is a good second. Another series by the same author is a series that isn't newer, and it's the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver. It's the same author as the Chestnut Springs. It's also a series that she's putting out now. This was the latest book. I think it came out in April or March or April, I'm not sure. Her other series, which I adore so much, and they're all single dad. So if you love a good single dad romance in the summer, then I highly recommend picking up these books. This one is that he's a billionaire, and then Brother's Best Friend. So this one is Brother's Best Friend, so this one's really good. This one is she is a country star, so I don't get it wrong. Let me say. She's a chart-topping country singer and with a bad press, and then she escapes to on Rose Hill, and she meets this guy, and he's a single dad as well, and she forms a bond with his children, and then he can't keep his eyes off of her. Yeah, this one is probably my favorite. One was the recent one that she just put out, Wild Side. It's about a female main character gets custody of her nephew, so her sister's son, and then but turns out when her sister died, she already had sister put in the will of joint custody between her sister Tabitha and this other guy that Tabitha doesn't know. And so obviously it's enemies to lovers. She comes into this town, she's like, who are you? Why are you watching my nephew? Why did my sister put you in joint custody of my nephew? So yeah, and he's also a wrestler, which is really, really cool. I didn't think I was gonna like that plot, but it was actually really, really good. So if you love the Chestnut Springs series, I highly recommend this series as well. Next series that I have is Rebel Ranch series by Lila Sage. I just read this book. I'm starting the series right now, so I'm on the second book right now, but I just finished this first book, and it's another small town cowboy romance. It's small town's brother's best friend as well. So this one was really good. The tensions were high, and I loved it so much. Is all the series that I have for this video, for the summer book recommendations that I have read. Obviously there's so many on my TBR that I still need to read, so I'll get to that next summer or this summer, who knows. Yeah, now we're gonna go with the standalones. So first ever, we have People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Emily Henry is one of my favorite authors of all time, author of Beach Read, which I have not read yet and I want to read. That's also on my TBR, just haven't got around to it. This is about two best friends, 10 summer trips, one last chance to fall in love. It's about Alex and Poppy, and I think they're making a movie out of it. Yeah, they're two best friends. They're going on vacation every summer, and then something happens and you don't know what, and then they have one last chance to go on vacation together and mend their relationship, friendship, and all that stuff, and they eventually fall in love, obviously. So it's best friends to lovers. I really love this book. It was slow at sometimes, but other than that, I really loved it. I think I read this 3 years ago, and this was my first Emily Henry book. Absolutely adored it. My next book that I have is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This is best rom-com book ever, in my opinion. It's Chef's Kiss. Of course, I read this about 3 years ago. It is enemies to lovers, and if I remember correctly, it's enemies to lovers, and they both go on this Hawaiian trip for a wedding for her sister. The best man and the female main character are sworn enemies. They don't like each other at all. If I remember this correctly, don't quote me, but they all get food, the rest of the wedding party gets food poisoning, and so the two main characters of this book goes to the honeymoon that was originally planned for the bride and the groom, but obviously they got food poisoning, so they go on their honeymoon, and it's just so funny. It's a good rom-com. If you love a good rom-com, if you want to laugh, cry, smile, I would highly recommend this book. My next book that I'm going to recommend is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This is a book I read when I first started reading, so about 3 to 4 years ago. You may recognize this. This just came a TV adaptation on Prime Video, and obviously I absolutely adored it. It made me cry. The Sinclair family, following them throughout each summer, and then one summer recently something terrible happens, and you're trying to figure out what throughout the book, and then it's a past and present point of views. So as you're reading the book, you're trying to figure out what happened. The female main character is forgot her memory. She has memory loss. She's what happened? Why won't you guys tell me anything? So it's kind of a summer mystery, and I really loved it. I highly recommend if you've watched the TV adaptation. Like I said, it was really good. So if you love a summer mystery, then I highly recommend We Were Liars. The next book I am recommending is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I don't really remember much about this book. It was a fun, lighthearted read. This is about Piper, who is fashion influencer, and she does something that in front of paparazzi that she wasn't supposed to do, and her stepfather like decides enough, she needs to be punished. So he sends her to this small town, and she bumps into the mailman character, and it's this grumpy fisherman, and it's really fun. It's a lighthearted read. If you're in for a good, quick summer romance, then I highly recommend this book. The next book that I'm recommending is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. I read this about 2 years ago. I really enjoyed it. Do recommend checking trigger warnings. This does deal with grief. Female main character loses her sister, and so their annual family vacation, they go to Martha's Vineyard, which obviously is the peak of summer. If you've ever been to Martha's Vineyard, then I am so jealous, because that is on my bucket list to go to during one summer. I just think Martha's Vineyard is beautiful, and this book is set in Martha's Vineyard. So annual vacation, they go to Martha's Vineyard, and this is after she lost her sister. So the whole family's just trying to reconnect after they lost their sister, their family member. They're trying to reconnect the whole family together after this big, huge tragedy that happened. They play a game of assassin that takes place during the week of the wedding. So they're having like a big summer wedding, and like someone in their family is getting married on Martha's Vineyard, so that's why they go. And she forms an alliance with a cute groomsman on the groom side of the family, and yeah, so they have a cute little friendship, fall in love and stuff like that, but while all dealing with the grief of her sister. So this does deal heavily with grief. The last two books that I am gonna recommend are by the same author. So the first book is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. It says 6 summers to fall in love, 1 moment to fall apart, a weekend to get it right. Like I said, I read this book right when I first started reading, so like 3 or 4 years ago, so I don't really remember, but read the back here just so I don't get any misinformation. Female main character, her name is Percy, and she goes back to their summer island, and she returns to the lake for our male main character's mother's funeral, and their connection, they reconnect. I think they were childhood friends to lovers, and you get like a past and present timeline, so you kind of know what's going on, but then again, you don't know what ruined their friendship and stuff like that, so you're trying to figure out what's going on. But this is a cute summer romance, and this also ties in with the newest release that she released called One Golden Summer. I don't have the physical copy because I read it on audiobook, but I'll have the picture like up here. One Golden Summer follows the brother of this book, so Sam, and then we have Charlie in One Golden Summer. So I would recommend, these are like a interconnected standalone series. So I'd recommend reading this one first and then One Golden Summer, because they do connect in some way. But yeah, so that's this book. And then the last book I'm going to recommend for you guys today is by the same author, which is This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. I think this is a part of a series too. I just never read the rest of the series. Female main character is a tourist vacationing at a beach house on Prince Edward's Island. And our male main character, Felix, is a local who shows her a good time. So our female main character and our male main character has like a past relationship. Every time she would go there, she would like run into him, and they would have something going on. His friend suddenly like drops out of nowhere, like flees to, like goes away a week before her wedding, and Lucy, our female main character, drops everything to follow her to the island, and her mission is to help her best friend get through her crisis that's going on. I guess she doesn't want to, I can't really remember, but she's getting married and she's like having a hard time. She's getting cold feet, so Lucy like goes back to the island and tries to help her, but she runs into Felix, and they have all this tension going on, and it's a really cute book, so I highly recommend. Like I said, I think this is part of a series. I just haven't read the rest of the series yet. So a past and present timeline, so you get both point of views, which is very good. And yeah, so that is the last books. That's all the summer books I've read. Like I said, I have so many on my TBR to get through, and hopefully I can recommend you some new ones next summer, of course. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like I said, this was one of my first ever book recommendation videos, and I hope I did good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, all that to say, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're new here, if you're a new subscriber, my name is Brianna. I'm so glad you joined my channel, and I love you guys so much. If you want to follow me on any other of my social medias, they will be in my link tree, which will be linked down below. You just click that link and it'll send you to all my social media accounts if you want to follow me on there. And I'm pretty active on Instagram and TikTok, so if you want to follow me on there, you can. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next video very, very soon. Bye!